grind is real. You could literally have momentum. You're excited about something, and something else will knock off that entire excitement out of you. Business is not run on document. It's not run on your beautiful Excel sheet. Run your business in the grind. Run your business in the doing, in the getting your hands dirty. It's in the experimenting that you will have your aha moment. But if you spend so much time thinking and not doing, you will never move forward. Business is not emotional. It's about profit and growth. People used to think radio is dead. I also was of the school of thought that radio is dead. I mean, I had a master's in web design. I was a full-blown digital marketer. I was all about digital. Yeah. And the type of energy you should have towards your business is, how can I create room for other people to invest energy, their mental capacity into what I'm doing? Partner with AI for the employees that you haven't been able to afford to hire. If you're a business and you don't have a finance person, partner with AI to start working on your profit and loss sheet.
Hi, Alvena. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
It's nice to have you on the podcast today.
Same here.
Today, we're talking about personal branding, startup, media distribution. And I know that you have lots of experience in all of those fields. So I believe we're going to have a very interesting conversation today. So before we dive into that, you want to tell me everything about Alvena. What do we need to know?
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate the time. You're welcome. My name is Alvena. I am a branding and marketing expert. I have 15 plus years experience in branding, marketing, advertising, and media distribution. My personal life is great. I live in Canada, married, happily married.
I could bet that I was going to see you on Purple today, but I'm wondering why you're not on Purple, because there's something about Purple and your brand color. Do you want to tell me more about that?
Yes. So I believe that purple is actually the color of my spirit. I know it sounds weird, but I genuinely believe that after I'm gone, I'm going to turn into purple.
Okay.
The purple light.
Oh,
So I
wow.
purple is the color of my spirit anyway. So, and I noticed that whenever, I wear it, I'm calm, it's me. And it has always been my color, more like lilac though, lavender lilac, and then in the family of purple. My entire office space, everything is purple. We did see me in purple today because I'm also trying to be less predictable.
Yeah, okay.
So I intentionally not wear purple. I struggle because literally everything is purple. So I'm now intentionally trying to make sure that I'm not always predictable. So I'm happy that, yeah.
Right. Like I've watched your brand for a couple of years now, and I know there's always something about lilac, lavender, purple, something must have that color, either your brand logo. So I was thinking, I want to wear purple to match Avena's energy today, but I couldn't find purple easily, so I went with black.
Okay, so I like what you said, and I think it's a fantastic baseline for the conversation we're going to have about branding, because you're not the first person to actually tell me that. I know this about you. And I think everybody who knows me now, you don't even have to be close to me to know that. Even when I give gifts, I make sure it's purple.
Oh.
So I'm happy you said that, because people don't understand the importance of having an identity. And people don't even know that your identity actually is not just about who you are, what you do. Something as little as colors that can actually pass the right message that would make somebody remember you, make somebody feel something, and just, share your energy. But that's one thing branding does. Branding makes you memorable. It makes you top of mind.
Speaking of top of mind, right? What is the underrated message startups you would usually overlook when it comes to personal branding?
So there are different types of entrepreneurs, right? I think I would like to break it down that way, because every startup, there's somebody behind it.
Yeah.
Depending on who is behind it, that is what would actually determine the outcome, especially in the first couple of months, maybe before they expand, get partners and all that. So one of the things that you would notice that always happens is that the brand is somehow going to be a reflection of person. And I've heard someone say this and it resonated. The person said that people hide behind what they are used to.
Mm.
So if you're a branding person, you spend so much time making sure your brand looks good. If you're a software developer, your brand will look like trash and you will spend so much time making sure that the product is good.
Mm.
If you're maybe a HR expert, you spend so much time on organizational structure and everything, and then your product might still be trash, your marketing might be trash, but people hide behind what they are comfortable with as entrepreneurs. So what I would say is that I've noticed that because of this, people don't scale fast because they are focusing so much energy on what they are good at. Of course, yes, or is not affordable at that time you're starting off, but it's also important to have a bird's eye perspective on what you're doing with your startup. So if I'm going to answer the question, what do startups overlook? I would say they overlook everything that they can do and hide behind what they're comfortable with. And how can this be fixed? Because, okay, yes, we know that's a problem. How can this be fixed? I think this can be fixed with, first of all, having like your roadmap to your growth. When you have a roadmap, you can easily just look at it as a board. It could be a mirror board, it could be a Canva board. There's so many apps you can use to create board this. They say, okay, can I even work with ChatGPT? Give me my organizational structure and what should I have? And this is what I do. What should I have? And to map out a structure for you. And then you would now also notice that some people also make the mistakes of hiring more people like them. So let's say you're a marketing person, you will now be hiring more of marketing people. You've not hired anybody in finance, you've not hired anybody in HR, but because, so these are the mistakes that I made. And I understood that, of course, when I learned that it's important to hire people that you don't have expertise in what they do so that they can complement you. So those are the ways you can fix that.
So speaking of startups, right? What is something shocking you've learned about the real grind when it comes to being a startup?
The grind is real. The grind is real. You could literally have momentum. You're excited about something, and something else will come and knock off that entire excitement out of you.
Tell
I
me
mean, take a
about
look
it.
at last week. I was so excited. We started the campaign, road to 1,000 listings. We were excited. And then 2 days, 3 days into the campaign, we lose our Instagram page of about 2,000 followers.
Oh.
And it was crazy because we put in a lot of work, obviously. But what made it even more funny was because of the effect and impact that it was supposed to have. I feel like if it was like Alvena of maybe 2 years ago, I would have probably had a meltdown. Like, what's going on? Well, what I just told myself was Mark Zuckerberg built his own. I'm building my own.
Mm.
So we see in front. It that was the energy I gave it. And then people suggested that I should just make a LinkedIn post for people who already know about the page and just let them know. That's why I did the post. But just that the energy I had was, okay, Mark Zuckerberg, you built yours. No problem, I'm gonna build mine. But that aside, that is just the grind aspect. Grind is that you don't know what you're gonna wake up to the next day. You don't know the fires you're gonna put out. And of course, you're working with people. Anything can happen. They can fall sick, they can give birth, they can have challenges also mentally.
Yeah.
I had my high performing staff have like 3 months of mental challenge and just literally could not do anything. So when I spoke to her, I was like, what's going on? Like, why are you not able to really perform? And just told me, listen, I think I'm going through a lot. Just realizing, just having to deal with the grief of losing my mom again. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know that. What you're going through. Like, why didn't you just take time off work? I would rather you say, I need time off work than, not being around but not working. Take time off is going to be paid time off. So, my point is you're dealing with people who have real lives, real emotions, and you have to be like the center, the anchor, that makes sure that everybody is fine. And because I've been an employee before, I always try not to make it look like the world revolves around my business. I understand that you have a life outside, lastly. So yeah, those are the little fires we put out. But then this is for the as a founder, this is what you have to deal with as a founder, someone running a business, managing people, managing their emotions, managing the ups and downs in the business, managing low on cash, big on cash. Not, in fact, you get to a point where you're not too excited about a lot of cash because there are so many things to still, get done. So you're just always in that doing mode. That is for managing your business as a founder. But then managing your idea before it becomes business, that gives fruit that you're looking for. I think a lot of people are stuck in that aspect of perfecting something that they have not launched, like pitch deck. Spend so much time, you pay somebody to do your pitch deck, business proposal, business. Trust me, everything that business proposal is not gonna be your story.
Wow.
Maybe 50%. People say business is not run on document. It's not run on your beautiful Excel sheet. You run your business in the grind. You run your business in the doing. It's in the that you know what exactly you're gonna get. So you don't run your business by having perfect presentation, perfect no.
So based on your
As a
experience, Alvena, what should be the
yeah,
process? Like, what should be the flow? Because I know you've
yeah,
started a couple of businesses. So tell me, what
yeah.
should that flow be?
I like that you just pointed out I've started a couple of businesses, and one of the things that I feel like it has done for me is that I have failed a lot.
Oh,
So I have failed a lot. I can give you a list of the things that I have done that they don't just work out. Because I have a master's in web design, I was convinced that I needed to have an e-commerce website. Why can't I have an e-commerce like Jumia or Konga? And I think this was the year 2022. I ordered products from China. I had built out the website. It was beautiful. I used different suppliers from Alibaba. They had sent me products. So I had two ideas. I was going to have one for clothing, one for jewelry. The jewelry came. They couldn't pass my last finger. Very tiny. And if you see the pictures, so big. The clothes came. This is embarrassing, but I'm going to say it. It is actually the truth. I wore one of the trousers. I think it was a black trouser then. I wore one of the trousers. Actually went out that day to my husband's office to see his office for the first time because he had just gotten a job. And so he was taking me to his office and the trouser tore.
no.
This is a true life story. The actually tore. I was like, no, I can't sell this. I can't give my customer something that embarrassed me.
Yeah.
So that was how this thing was now stuck in my store. This was like inventory of almost 500,000 was just wasted and gone. And then I just told myself, I cannot do this business. But the truth is that if I never had spent money on the inventory, if I never had even, done anything, taken any action, I would have always had this thing in my mind that, I should have an e-commerce business. Always felt like I should have this. The truth is that everything you feel like you should have, try and go for it. And I'm not saying that some other person would have not had that experience and decided to continue. I'm just saying that the entire experience made me see that I didn't love it enough to continue. So somebody else might go through that experience and love it enough to continue, but I did not love it enough to have to deal with inventory, to have to deal with all that. And I said, no, I want a digital only business that does not require any inventory, that I can do from anywhere in the world, that I don't have to have stock. I didn't want any physical aspect of my business. And that was when I started to search for what can I do that will be 100% online, delivered online, and I can do it from anywhere in the world. So it was in the process of answering this question for myself that Blastily was born. And Blastily was not even born immediately. First of all, we started calling it my brand Blast, and then we now change it to Blastily. So, like I said, in the process of doing that, you metamorphosing, if I think that's correct, into what you want to be. So I keep saying we're more into Blastily. We didn't just wake up and become Blastily. There were so many things that we had to go through to become Blastily.
Whoa. If you could tell me one lesson you learned from said, right? What would it be? Because for me, what I picked whatever you want to do, you need to love it enough. You know, even after it failed, you should be able to like start it again. Was that the same
Again,
thing for you?
yeah, at the time when I was in search of this big business that I feel like should serve me in a certain way, I had already had 10 plus experience in branding, marketing, social media management, website development. But I was just like the doer. I'll develop your website, I'll give it to you, right? My business was ends when I give you a website. Sometimes you might just send me things to update for you or whatever. I did that for 10 years and it was good sometimes, it wasn't good sometimes. And to me, it required me to do the heavy lifting of designing. So I was just getting to a place where I just didn't have the bandwidth to keep designing like I used to. I wanted something that was a little less mental effort, but of course, more financial reward. So, yeah, you might not even love it enough, but it might also just give you enough financial reward that it also just buys the law in a way. But
Yeah.
somehow, let it just be, let something satisfy you in it. Get some sort of satisfaction from what you do, whether it's monetary satisfaction or emotional satisfaction. Some people, that's why some people open NGOs, it's for emotional satisfaction. But the key is to also be satisfied, is to also be fed by what you're feeding. Because when we give things our time, we are feeding that thing. We are feeding it to become something. And it's only fair that that thing feeds you back. So whatever it is that is your goal, as you grow as a human being, you want to make sure that what you're investing your energy, your time, your effort into also has a reward for you. But some people will say, oh, we all know that startups don't pay immediately. You define your reward. What do you want? Some people will say, my reward is that I'm happy that I have something that is helping other people. And that will literally be enough for them. Someone else can say, oh, the reward I want is $1 million or whatever. Then work towards it and understand that your $1 million will not come today. You have to first of all get $1,000, then 100 grand, then 500 before you get to a million. So again, define it for yourself. My own reason and why it is perfect for me, I have just explained, was that I wanted something that could be done 100% online and gives me the freedom to work from anywhere in the world, because I know that somewhere in my future might require that I'm not at a certain place at a certain time. So because of that knowledge, I told myself that I need something that I can deploy and manage and run from anywhere in the world that can serve anybody in the world. And it was answering that question for myself that I got to where I got to with Blastily.
Wow. So tell me about Blastily.
Okay, Blastily is a cross-border marketing platform, like we like to say. It's an AI-powered ad tech platform. It's just basically a marketplace where you can come and buy eyeballs on billboards, radio stations, podcasts like this one, cinemas, TV stations, vehicle ads. We have those, and then creators. So for each of these category that I have listed, including events as well, which we are just about to launch the events category, in all these categories that I have listed, the offer that we're giving clients is that if you have a desire to break into a certain market, your distribution and how you get into that market can be done easily by obviously using Blastily to get into your niche. And I'm going to explain this.
Okay.
The year was 2015. I had won a braided wig. I went to the airport. Then braided wig was not even a thing. I went to the airport and somebody said, oh, I love your hair. I said, it's a wig. Are you serious? Please, can you give me the wig? I said, why? I said, I'm going to the US and I would really love it if I can pay you to give the wig. So I think I had gotten the wig for, I think, about 15K. And the lady, and I told the lady, okay, how much are you going to pay? And she said she's going to pay 35K.
Wow.
That would I take 35K, please? She said yes. And I gave her the wig off my head. And that was how I started a braided wig business, side by side my branding business then. And after that happened, I was excited. Like, I literally just sold this off my head. 150%. Like, no, this is a business. I need to tap into this. But then I didn't know how to market it because all my life, because people think branding is marketing. Branding is not marketing. It's just making things look pretty and passing the right message. And yes, branding can help marketing, but it's not marketing.
Yeah.
So I just said, this is good. So I went and I paid for a bulk order. I told the lady, you gave me this thing for 15K. If I'm going to do 10, how much will you charge? Okay, I can do 10K. I can do 7. I said, good.
Now,
So I'm going to bulk. So I did the bulk purchase, but I couldn't sell it. So I said, wait, somebody now sent me a message. The influencer actually reached out to me and she said, let me wear your wig. I'm going to pay for this one and let me wear it. And your DM is going to be flooded. If your DM is flooded, send me one extra one. I was like, that's a fair deal. After all, she's paying for this. I don't have to pay her to influence. Nothing to lose. So she paid and I sent it to her. And she wore this wig. And to my surprise, my DM was flooded. I want the exact one she's wearing. I'm like, who is this babe? I didn't even know her before she DM'd. I was like, who is this girl and why do people want to be like her? Why do people want to wear? And that was how I got introduced to the world of influencing. And this was like 2015, before influencing became a thing like it is now. Like this was then, like people already were having that kind of impact. I was like, whoop. Of course, then I was a web developer. So I just set up a website for Blastily and I would literally get paid every day for, I think for like 2 months. I didn't touch, the revenue that came from, Wigs. That was the name of the branding. Okay. I think I didn't touch revenue that came from Wigs and the revenue just kept coming. And that's why I always loved e-commerce. I just said, no, like if you can sell something, that experience kind of fed into that, my other bad experience. Anyway, long story short, before I knew it, people started ordering my wigs to replicate it. People that were selling normal hair, they're selling braided wigs. Apparently, braided wigs were everywhere, and it was no longer like a wave. But we are part of the people that pioneered it then. So I tell this story to say that I feel like I would have not sold anything if I never partnered with somebody who already had that influence.
Yeah.
Well, I know and I have seen it firsthand, the power of influence. This is way back before influence became a thing, and it is still prevalent today.
Yeah.
Well, when you come on Blastly and you want to choose maybe a creator or a podcaster, we have the feature to make sure that you're choosing someone in your niche. So we have mom bloggers now, people who are talking about motherhood and all these things.
Yeah.
If you have a baby product and you want to reach out to those set of women, you can just choose like mom bloggers and you can get access to them. We're still expanding our database. So this is also a call for people who have lovely podcasts like this, who are creators as well. Or maybe you will have an authority on LinkedIn. You're also a creator. If you get a lot of reach on LinkedIn when you talk about anything, I think another wave that we are seeing coming now when it comes to creators is LinkedIn and them using their platform to promote SaaS, software as a service products. Yeah. Don't say, oh, because I'm not on Instagram, I'm not an influencer. No, we have LinkedIn influencers now and they're doing good numbers on software that they're promoting. So yeah, so this is also a call. Sign up with us. It's free. So just list so that if somebody also watches this video and, wants to advertise with you, they can just, reach out to you if you fall within their niche. So if somebody come and, they're searching for mom bloggers, I won't give them tech experts, right? Yeah. So we make sure that what people are getting, what they're looking for. And the only way we can, give the right search results is if our database is more robust. We've just deployed our software. Before we were using something scrappy that we just had to put together to get the job going. But now we've deployed a full-blown software. People can create their accounts, people can upload their logo, create the business, talk about the podcast, set their prices and all that. That is basically what Blastly does. So beyond the creator and influencer aspects, we also have billboards. This was also informed by the last place I worked. When I was working at One Brand, I was head of marketing, and I saw firsthand the impact of billboards. When I look at my dashboard, because we would always ask customers, how did you hear about us and all that. So one of the top 2 ways that they came in, and we're doing good. I say what I thought people say it wasn't really. It was for someone who is serious with business, and then people will also consider it an investment. will be comfortable with making that investment, knowing that, okay, I'm expecting this from it. So we also have that as a category as well. And not fantastically well was radio advert. These jingles that play over and over and over and over again, radio adverts are very, very good. Again, you have to be
I would
strategic.
think radio is dead, Alvena.
Exactly. People used to think radio is dead. And I'm like, I also was of the school of thought that radio is dead. I mean, I had a master's in web design. I was a full-blown digital marketer. I was all about digital.
Yeah.
And then I called this company and I noticed that the problem is not that radio is dead. The problem is that where we hang out, millennials, Gen Zs, everybody, we hang out online. But we don't understand that there's another whole world out there that hang out other places. We have baby boomers who are driving to work, who have their favorite presenter they listen to in the morning, like maybe Jimmy Disto and all these people in Nigeria. If we have people who are coming back from work or maybe doing school run, they already have a routine. And when they're driving, this is what they hear. So those people who have routine, if you disrupt them with an ad long enough, that ad will also become part of their subconscious, part of their routine. So I started to realize that we weren't paying attention enough to where people were. And we were just advertising around the people that what we are comfortable with. And it taught me a very valuable lesson that when it comes to advertising, it's not just about what I like. No, it's not about me. It's not about where I hang out. It's not about where my friends hang out. It's about what does this business need? What type of influx does this business need? If, for example, I was selling soap and cleaning products, why will I focus so much on social media? No, it needs the masses. It needs everybody. So if I was going to suggest a radio station in maybe Nigeria, I would say maybe Wazobia, because you would get everybody. You would get the mass. That's the mass market. If I had a product, maybe like a software, maybe for gift cards or something cool that young people can, use, maybe send gifts and all that, I want to focus on a cool radio station, like Cool FM, where young people hang out and they listen to music, their music, So demography is everything. And those are the things that we try to do on our website. Try to categorize stations by the audience, people you're going to be talking to, the demography and all that. And then again, another aspect of advertising that people always do is this, oh, I'm running a Facebook ad. That's all.
Yeah.
Oh no. If you had a budget of 500K and you gave it all to Facebook, you did not run a campaign. No.
So how should I spend my 500?
So if you had $500, you wanted to run an ad, I would say you spread it. First of all, cut it into two. If your ad budget is $500, first of all, cut it into two. Have 250 for offline activities and have 250 for online activities. You do this at the beginning till you know where your people are, because people don't understand that advertising is a discovery process. It's like someone who is doing research. You want to know where your people are. So I would always advise, cut your ad budget into two and do your testing phase first. Unless you tell me, see, I've done my testing, I know that my people are here. Like, okay, fine. But I would also advise, even if you've done your testing and you know that people are there, how often do you test? Test is not something that you do at the beginning and then that's it. No, tests are done periodically. You have to do tests every other quarter to know, are people's ideas and thoughts and tastes shifting? Like now, this is summer. Everybody's outside. Here in Canada, everybody's outside in summer. It's going to make a lot of sense to plug into radio ads. I started listening to Jack FM just by default because we are going out. I'm not listening to Jack FM. I'm like, oh my God, just by default. So now it's summer, a lot more people are going to be in their cars. If you're in Canada, this is the best time to do a radio advert because automatically people are going to be outside, taking road trips, going out and all that. Yeah, some people might have their playlist. Some people also just want to relax with the presenter. And you might just be lucky to discover a whole new trend. Trends, times, and seasons should determine your testing phase.
Let that sink in.
Depending on what is happening in your environment, that should inform your actions. It needs to inform what you do with your marketing. That's why we also have a feature, in our one of the things that we are doing is if you sign up to our platform, we're going to be sending you like periodic calendar to tell you that summer is Canada Day. But we're not going to tell you on today because we understand that marketers need to plan. So maybe like a week before, we'll let you know that, oh, next week is Canada Day. Do you have any plans? Or do you want to create content? All those things. So, because if you were able to go with the wave of how the world works, you would somehow eventually find yourself fitting into the lifestyle of the people that you want to market and connect with.
Well, so what is the role of data in all of this?
Data. I love to talk about data. Like, I literally have so many videos on my Instagram where I actually talk about the importance of data buckets, the importance of just basically gathering your data. A lot of people think that the problem is they don't have money to advertise. I had a meeting one time, not too long ago. This was like 2 weeks ago. And the guy was like, oh, so, if you had a budget of 400,000, how are you going to spend our marketing budget here in Canada? And I was like, I wouldn't spend your marketing budget right away. I would actually want to know how much data you have. Like, what do you mean? I was like, well, I'd like to know if you guys have sent receipts before. Did you get emails? Did you get phone numbers? I'll first of all get all these people in to one space. And then I'll start to talk to them because these are the people that have used your service. These are the people that could also be like a catalyst for your growth. I would ask them, did you enjoy this service? Do you want to use this service again? Is there anything you feel like I've done better? Surveys. It brings me to the point of surveys. You can't do data without surveys. And that's why we also have a survey feature, lastly, because I said you can't do marketing without survey. No, because what's the point of blasting if you don't know how it made that person feel? No. You need to know how they felt about your product. I told him that's where I'm gonna start. So I mean, I don't know if you expect another answer to say, oh, I'm gonna, spend 10,000 on Facebook. Then and I said, I don't start there. That's not the beginning of marketing. I have to start from where the data was left. How far have you guys gone with your data? Is it segmented? Is it cleaned up? And then I need to also talk to them to even know if they even like you, if this product is worth selling or worth spending money on before we now move to that. And that's also because I realized that the best type of customers are the people who have paid before. Getting them to pay again is not usually difficult. So the role that data plays in all this is being able to constantly understand that behind the numbers are human beings with emotions, and finding a way to connect to those emotions would help you grow. I have literally grown my business by intentionally finding a way to connect with the human behind the numbers that we see. I try as much as possible to understand why our clients do what we do. What they do, a lot of people come to us for actually press releases. That's like our highest selling category. People come to us because they want to get featured on Forbes, they want to get featured on Vanguard this day and Yahoo Finance, and the Global Mail, and we have over 300, I think almost 400 at blasting spots for press releases. I started realizing that I was getting a certain type of customers on the press releases. So I had to start asking questions like, what are you guys doing with this? Why are you guys coming? And why are you referring your friends? And why do you want it this way? So we need it for visa.
Whoa.
What? And this was actually literally how Blastly like sort of blew up exactly 1 year ago. They said, oh, when you're applying for a US visa, you have to show you have authority, you have to show the things you've done. And it's not like we've not done anything, we just haven't been intentional about showing that we've done things.
Yeah.
We need to just be more intentional about that. Obviously, when I started my business 2 years ago, I had no idea that there was that aspects that could ever happen. So those are the things that happen in business that you're like, oh, okay, I started this thing for this, but look at how it is fiercely solving another problem that I did not even existed. So that was actually how Blastly really took off. People started to book a lot of media buyings from us, and it was just they would tell their friends. It wasn't even like we're running as I've done my own. Go and call this person. I've done my own. I was like, what's going on? Before I knew
Word
that,
of mouth.
this person sent me. This person sent me. I'm like, hey, and it just now created this chain of people who you already know why they are there. So because I've also gone through the whole waiting process, and I end up being a therapist sometimes at the beginning phase, because I think the more I connected to them emotionally, the more able they really. So obviously, when I started Blastly, that was not goal. Actually, I never knew that that existed, but it ended up being a thing. So what am I saying? When it comes to data, it's human beings behind it. It needs to inform you, but also don't be carried away. Make sure that you understand what the people want. So use it to get more information about what people want, how can you serve them better, and what are they paying more attention to.
Yeah.
What is making them stay? What is making them come back? What is making them uncomfortable? How can you simplify the process? I know people say, oh, people don't like to fill forms, but the process we had, from day one, when you're coming, says, this is our process, you're going to have to fill a form. Because if you're going to write about you, we need to know a lot about you.
Everything.
And
Yeah.
most times, when they're done filling, they'll come and say, Alvena, it felt like an exam. I say, congratulations. God, I hear that every time. Somebody else might say, oh, people don't like to fill forms, so I'm not going to structure my business. No, don't do that. You should set the pace. I've also gotten away from, that hustle and struggle energy when it comes to business, because it doesn't pay you in the long run. Once people perceive you as desperate, you need the sale. Oh, okay, you don't want to fill the form. No problem, I'll fill it for you. No, what do you know about the person?
Yeah.
So you need to allow people to go through the process, the onboarding process for your product, create that structure, you create that respect. You also create that professionalism that you need, so that they are also comfortable to refer it. That's it about data. And how we collect data actually is literally from that form. Because once you come in, we now know you, we know why you came, we know who you are, we really know your birthday, we know a lot. So it's easy for us to connect with you and continue to connect with you. And it has helped us to grow.
Great. Well, I mean, you've been an entrepreneur and you've also done 9 to 5. Are you more inclined to being an entrepreneur?
Well,
Or are
well,
you still
well,
considering 9 to
don't do this. Would bring myself outside like this. For me, the truth is that my entrepreneurship journey is funny, because just like everybody, just like all of us, we all were told to go to university. When we come out, we're going to get a job. So, but I went to university. I went to the University of Sunderland and came back to Nigeria in 2012 with my sister. So I was told that I was going to get a job in Shell. In fact, they're going to rush me because it was a UK degree.
Yeah.
And my mom spent pounds, and I was so looking forward to. In fact, I couldn't even wait to go back to Nigeria. I was like, oh, Vina, stay back. This is a better place. I'm like, no, you know that I'm going to be hot cake if I go back to Nigeria, my dear. Dreams shattered.
Whoa.
Nobody rushed me, because at that time, the Nigerian employment system were hell bent on tests. All those GRE tests,
Oh,
GE
yeah.
tests. It was all about tests then. And guess what? I'm not good with tests. I'm a creative, and I'm not good with numbers. As at that time, I was very young, and I knew that I could do marketing. I knew I was a creative. I knew I could design, but I couldn't pass those tests. I went for a lot of them with my sister, and I always never got to the second stage. And at some point, I was like, why am I spending so much energy trying to get into another person's environment? Let me start creating my own, because that's literally what I know how to do. And of course, nobody would welcome it at first, because that's not the plan. The plan was you're going to get a big girl job, but I didn't get it at first. And it wasn't up to 3 years into doing I think it was the same year I actually started my business that I got my first million. My mind just opened. That's what money does to you. I had been going for jobs, and the only job I got was someone who was going to pay me 70,000 to be her PA. And I didn't take it because it didn't seem like much of a career growth.
Yeah.
And that was the exact amount I was taking as a pocket money in 2012 in school. So I was like, why would I leave university to
I'll still
come
be
and
earning stipend.
money that I was like, no, it doesn't make any sense. There has to be a better way. So back to your question, I actually thought that my life would go a certain way, but I also let God lead me. And then I started my business. I literally taught myself web design. It wasn't something I learned in school. It was because I needed to start my business. And I started asking myself, what are all the things that need to be in place for me to look serious? So I registered the business. At the point I registered the business, I didn't know what I wanted the business to do. I just knew that I had to move forward in life, and like I couldn't stop. I can't keep going for these tests that I don't know how to. So I registered the business, and I now started the process of trying to make the business look good. It was now in that process that I now got the idea to do it for other people.
Okay.
Since creativity is my, that I had done branding for like 3 months to 4 months, going to 5 months, and I didn't even know that what I was doing was called branding.
Brandon, yeah.
Some people told me, "So you do branding?" I was like, yeah, yeah. Then I now went home to go and Google like what's branding. That was when I had a full-fledged picture of what branding was. But I was already offering it as a service, saying, "See, I'm going to help you do your logo. I'm going to help you do this."
Your
I'm going to help you do
website.
that. So, and that was because I was able to solve that problem for myself. So again, back to my mantra: business is in the doing.
Yeah.
It's in the doing. It's in the getting your hands dirty. It's in the experimenting that you will have your aha moment. But if you spend so much time thinking and not doing, you will never move forward.
Mm.
So when it comes to 9 to 5, I was blessed to have a 9 to 5 experience as head of marketing. And I had an amazing boss. I was working directly with the owner of everyone. So I think when you're that close to power, influence, and seeing somebody's idea come to life, it does something to you. I don't know if it does something to every other person, but it did something to me. It made me see that I can. And he was a very inspiring person, still is a very inspiring person when working with him. And he literally had the similar story. He finished school, he tried to get a job at the Oceanic Bank and he couldn't. And he always told the story about how frustrated he was before he started his business. So it was so, but what that did for me was that it made me believe that I can. And but also seeing the potential, because I had run my business for 10 years before I joined. And obviously, as an SME, you've not seen billions. You've not seen billions, like you've not seen those big numbers. You're used to the small 1 million, 2 million. You've not had to manage that amount of marketing budget. What it did for me is that it shifted something in me to make me feel like understand that I also can have a business that has a revenue of billions. I also can achieve that. And it was such an honor serving under his leadership. So for me, I personally believe that I want to only walk into spaces that I believe that I'm called to. Because I've gotten to a place where I realized that everything that has happened in my life was orchestrated by God. And I've gotten to a point in my life as well where I don't force things. I get part-time gigs. People might say, "Oh, I'm trying to build this." I consult. I help people launch anything they want to launch. It could be launching a book, it could be launching a business, a brand, a SaaS. Maybe you need somebody that has like a marketing skill. And then most time people get me on board, not as a staff, but just like as like a freelancer, a part-timer, and just pay me like the consultant. So those are the type of jobs that I do now outside Blastly, but obviously for a fee. But point I'm trying to make is I've realized that what you focus on is what will grow. What you water is what you grow. If I spend time polishing my CV, applying for jobs, maybe that's what is going to grow in my life, right? But I only apply for jobs when I see that, something matches what I think I can do. And then I might just apply, before I started Lastly and all. But I've gotten to a place where I just feel like I want things to align. They have to just feel right. Because I've also worked with people where I feel like I had no business doing this. Like this does not align with the value I can deliver. I'm open to having divine alignments when it comes to my career, because I've realized that things don't just happen, things are, orchestrated. Again, it's not like we don't have the choice to say this is what we want,
Yeah.
but I feel like Lastly has grown into a place of purpose that it's been a disservice to just up and leave, because a lot of people are depending on me now. We have a staff strength of about 6 people, and all these people believe that their future is in safe hands. So I cannot just up and tell them that Lastly is closing for whatever. So I've had to weather the storm, and it has also made me more responsible, knowing that people's future depend on how hard I work. And it has also been very rewarding as well, So I'm open to what life throws at me, but I've gotten to a place where I realize that sometimes it's not really about looking for the general templates. It's about finding your own unique print.
Wow. So, in all of this journey as an entrepreneur, what is that mistake you have learned not to make?
Hmm. I've learned that business is not emotional. As much as I talk about managing the emotions of your customers, making
Yeah.
sure that they're happy, when it comes to you, the founder, and the business, it's not an emotional conversation. It's a growth conversation. It's a profit conversation. So I've hopefully outgrown the aspect of holding things so tight to my chest. Like this thing must happen this way. That at that point I'm making it about me. And your business is never about you. It's about the people you're serving. So if you have strong emotions about everything, um, it's gonna be hard to grow. So I've come to a point in my business where I've realized that business is not emotional. It's about profit and growth. And when it's not emotional for you, somebody can send a message and say, "Hey, Alvena, this thing it does not look good on your website. I think you should do it this way." And you not feel like, you insulting me. I would be so happy with the feedback. I had a conversation this morning with our developer, and I was like, "See, I don't want you to ever feel like you cannot tell Alvina that this idea is not nice. I want you to even tell me that it's not nice and tell me why your own is nicer." Because I want to create that environment where people can also ideate and add to what I'm bringing to the table. One of the things that I have learned is that you need to divorce your emotions from the growth of your business in terms of the actual operations and the actual development so that it can grow. Emotions can actually stifle it, in a way. The type of energy you should have towards your business is how can I create room for other people to invest their energy, their mental capacity into what I'm doing? And how can I be comfortable with criticism in whatever way it is? I want people to feel free to say, "Oh, I want to see this. Lastly, it would be so cool if he did this."
Yeah.
That would actually excite me. That's one of the things that I have learned. I have created that room for people to be critical towards what we are building. And it is what has gotten us where we are right.
Oh, interesting. We are in the euphoria of AI. AI this, AI that.
Hmm.
So, where do you see personal branding, marketing, and even Blastly go with AI? Are we all going to be robotic one day? Are we all just going to become AI-ish? Like, what's your thought on this?
If you check LinkedIn now, all the content there, it's AI that really. So the thing about AI and what I genuinely think when it comes to even Blastly, we have our own GPT model. If you go to GPT and you search for Blastly, it will pop up.
Oh, great.
I just look at it as, the internet. When the internet came, people were wondering, oh, what will happen to typewriters? Oh, bookstores were disrupted then. It was brick and mortar. You have to go into the bookstore. It now became you have to buy on Amazon. Like, that was the power of the internet. So people will not go to the market again. Everything is now online. You have to buy from eBay. You have to buy it. That's just how I look at it. It's a disruptive development in technology. But if we survive the era of the internet, we're going to also survive this one. The only thing people should do right now, the main thing is just to be strategic about how they position themselves in this new era. Nobody wants to be left behind. Everybody's on the AI or train. But I also advise people to embrace their originality. I've had so many conversations with ChatGPT where I would say, I don't want you to say this. This is what I want. Like, don't submit your will. Don't lose your voice. Let ChatGPT know that this is the direction you want to go.
Yeah.
Just come out full stop for me. This is actually what I want to say.
Yeah.
Because we can now tell everybody everything sounds polished. Honestly, AI is one of the greatest things that have also helped me as well, because I don't want to give the details, but I used to miss punctuations and all these things. I can read it like a 10, 100 times, and I will still not see that I missed maybe a punctuation or a comma, but it's not like I didn't know what I wanted to say. Some people are like that. They see dancing letters, some people are like that. So I do have that kind of issue with dancing letters and all that. When AI came out, I was the happiest person because now I can say exactly what I want to say and it will look professional. But what I didn't do was not say. I will not come and tell AI to tell me what to say. No, I will tell AI, this is what I want. Just help me put comma, full stop, and check for grammatical errors and give it back to me. So your originality is so important because people can smell it. Also partner with AI for the employees that you haven't been able to afford to hire. If you are a business and that's another aspect people don't even pay attention to. If you're a business and you don't have a finance person, partner with AI to start working on your profit and loss sheet and all that. If you don't have maybe a HR person, partner with AI to get out the employment letters for you and all those things that you don't have yet. AI really helped at the beginning of the business. It was with ChatGPT that I wrote my employment letters to make sure that they were in line. And I would say, okay, scan the web for best practices and all that. And it really, really helped. So it's a helpful tool, but don't lose your voice.
Okay. I like that perspective, right? One of the way I'm also embraced AI is to help me improve my productivity. So leverage it, but then don't lose your voice. Yeah.
Exactly.
If anybody is looking at, I need Blastly service, what are the 3 things that Blastly would do? Is okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to give you the top three.
Yes.
We serve two sets of people. We serve thought leaders and industry leaders. These are CFOs, CEOs, CMOs, people who already have authority in their field, people who have 10 plus years of experience in their careers and they want to come out to the world and say, this is my list of achievements. These are the things that I have done. I'm not a small person. You cannot ignore me. This type of things help with when they want to select people to board representatives, you want to get on associations, people want to know who are you. So in simple terms, lastly will help you tell the world who you are. When when people Google you to find out who you are, because you've partnered with us, we would have articles already online that would answer questions. So as people are doing their background check, trying to figure out who is this person, why should we give them a board seat, will see enough data about you. So Blastly is just basically giving you that power to tell the world who you are. And that way you can basically excel. You can walk into rooms you never thought you would walk into. Like I remember early this year, I think it was February, when I got a LinkedIn invite to be a judge at the Enactus Canada national competition.
Yeah.
And I already know that they did their background check on me. I was not only just Black girl in the room, I was the only Black person in the room. I stuck out like a thumb. But obviously, the reason why I was selected was probably they did their background check, probably asking for maybe women entrepreneurs in Calgary or something. And I popped up somehow. I stuck out like a thumb. Most of the people that came for that judge, they've been judging for 15 years, 10 years. They even did it in school. They've been doing it for a while. Other people were there because their company was a sponsor of the event. So they got a slot to come and judge. I came there because I've told the world who I was. So, follow your lights. It's a given. That's what we do with Lastly. And obviously, imagine not having spent up to 6 months in Canada and getting that kind of invitation. Yeah. But my SEO, which is my search engine optimization strategy, and my AIO, which is my AI optimization strategy on my personal brand, has been on. It's so important to tell the world who you are. And that's one of the things that Blastly will help you do. So that is for personal brands. But I don't want someone who owns a business with different, okay, she's for personal brand, baby. Don't me. No. Like I always say, there's someone behind the business, right? So not only can we help the founders as well, tell the world what they are building, the good stories about what they have achieved, we can also help them promote the businesses as well. When it comes to distribution, I already gave the story about the influencers and the power of influencers and all that. Those are the kind of people we are serving, people who understand that not only do I have qualifications to back my experience. I also have the actual experience to talk about. I also have something that the world needs. I just haven't found a way to put it out there. I help people launch books. I've helped a lot of people become authors as well. That is outside Blastily. People just know that this is something I help them do because I also have an Amazon store. So I help people become authors because my entire message is about helping people show up. People need to know what you do. So I'm going to help you come out to the world in a way that you will be proud of yourself. Everybody will be proud of you, and people will want to collaborate and work with you.
Lastly, help people to get seen. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that totally makes sense.
That's literally what's on our website. Let's help you get seen.
Really? Okay, great. So before we go, I want to ask you about the role of, I think you've mentioned it before, but I just still want to ask specifically the role of your faith, God, and in all of this journey.
I love God. I love God. I'm a believer that everything is created twice, first in the spirit, then in the physical. I'm a believer that life was never promised to come without pain, but it's important to understand that having the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit in your corner makes all the difference. I am a firm believer that we can only become our true selves when we have aligned with the version of us that already existed before time in the spirit. So, yes, I am a firm believer in Jesus Christ, and I believe He's my Lord and Savior. I also feel like everything that I have built, seen, is as a result of the investments that God has made in me. And I feel like God gave me so much. When Blastly started, I did it myself for so long. It was all about me. And the moment I said, you know what, God, I'm done. If you're with me, I'm going to do it your way. Everything changed. I saw things happen that I never thought possible. Before the shift in the business happened that I told you about, when I started getting a lot of people who are interested in press release for a particular reason.
Yeah.
Blastly was video running for 6+ months on lost. I can't function without God. I literally pray about everything. A couple of days ago, I celebrated my husband's birthday, and before the actual party, I was praying to God. I said, God, please, I want everybody to have a good time. And some people that are coming who are meeting themselves for the first time. God, please, I want everybody to be happy. I literally pray about the littlest things, and He answers me. I've come to see that having alignment with God on every aspect of your life, the things that you feel like is this thing is too minute for God. No, bring Him in. There's a reason why you have relationship with people. When you have a best friend, when you have a relationship with somebody, you call them and you talk about the most mundane things. You talk about how, oh, your slippers cut. Oh, do you know that you one big rabbit outside there? You don't even know why there are too many rabbits. That is the kind of relationship God had with Adam and Eve. He came down to gist with them periodically. So that's the kind of relationship that we can now have with God because Jesus has paid the price. So I don't know why people feel like God's like, something that's mystical that they can't talk with. God is literally yearning to have that relationship with man. So have the conversation with Him. Start to bring Him into little things like parties, like you want to cook. Like I'm really saying praying to God about weight loss.
Right.
You have to help me.
Yeah.
And I think like I've tried to do it on my own a lot. I think you have to help me at this point. You cannot separate your life. The life you want to have, everything you think you want to have is hidden. It's literally hidden like a gift inside your relationship with God. And I'm a firm believer of it.
Wow. So in your business journey as an entrepreneur, so have you had like a God did it moment? Like, God, this has to be you in this business. If this wasn't you, I'm not sure. Anyone in particular?
The entire business is the God did
God did
it.
it. Okay.
The entire business. Because like I said, the kind of customers we had in the first couple of months, the 6 months launch after I had surrendered everything to God, I said, you know what? You know what? I can't even say this. I just want you to know that I actually gave up. But I just said, you know what? I'm done. After that, I was like, God, fine. Maybe this is not what you want me to do. And he, okay. Let me talk a little bit spiritual because I feel like I will be doing people a disservice if I don't balance the message that I put out here today. When I started my business, God led me apologize to certain people. And these are people that I consider that I have not wronged in any way. Some of these people are maybe older than, but
Like
he
you are
put me,
older than them or they are older
yeah,
than you?
I am older than some are older than me. He put me through an apology
What's that?
routine. Like I'll pray today, he'll say, this is the person you need to apologize. I'm like, but I did not do anything. I say, do you remember? So and so.
That's supposed to be an offense.
Did I? God said, some might be saying, no, this is my smally now. Why would I? There's no pride in the presence of God. So I went through that for the first week. Hey, it was so excruciating. It's like part of me was dying. And then I realized what God was doing. He was trying to bury self. He was trying to bury this
Right.
idea, pride and all that. He was trying to bury it in me. So I thank God for his pruning. But to some other people, it can be humiliating. People might not want to do it. But when you start having a relationship with God, it's going to give you certain set of instructions that will be very painful. And it's painful because it's your flesh that is cutting out. So definitely it will be painful. But I can guarantee you the reward after that is bliss. So trusting God, trusting his leading, trusting his promptings to you to say, and just being obedient, the sky will be your starting point. So after that, before I knew it, I was, I started making just for an estimate, maybe like my annual salary in a month. And it was like, what is going on? I was scared initially, like I don't know, but I feel like people don't even understand that entrepreneurs can be scared too. You come out, you're so bold, you're talking about all these things, but I was literally scared. Like I used to feel like somebody would just come and carry me one day because of all the money I made.
A mall. Yeah.
I was like, maybe there's something, I don't know. So there's so many things I had to outgrow. God started opening my eyes, you talk big, you talk all this. When some things happen to you, you kind of feel like, what's going on? What's going on? So of course we now just doubled down, started doing product development. We literally just invested everything in just making sure that the product comes out good, which is what we just launched this week and all that. But bottom line is, God is good. And the version of ourselves that we'll be proud of, the version of ourselves that will thrive and to just excel, is the version of ourselves that is actually hidden in Christ. The version of ourselves that does not fight for themselves to be the one that is revealed, but it's Jesus that is glorified. And you're not trying as much as possible to prove your point. You're not trying to show them who you are. In as much as our entire company is about telling your story, we also understand the importance of consecration. Please, by all means, make sure that you're ready to come out to the world and tell your story. By all means, make sure that you know that you have value to give. There's no need for you to over package yourself. I know that we live in a world that believes that that is the way, but it's actually not the way, because you get into that room and you will not be able to deliver. Yes, packaging will get you into the door, but when it's time to deliver,
It will
it
sustain you.
sustain you. If you're making a presentation, is that the point you now start asking ChatGPT questions? You're in front of everybody, you have to talk from your
Yeah,
head.
perhaps.
Yeah, so you have to get to a point where you actually have this knowledge. So yeah, God is my foundation. God is my rock. I feel like I would have not been confident in a lot of things. Even having payroll, like it's scary. Like every month you have to like take care of these people. But I've rested because what the girl was like, have you ever defaulted on payroll? Like, I was like, I did that. You don't even know little things to be grateful for. You're not running up and down. God is keeping you sane and stable. I think it's only God that can do that.
Yeah.
I don't think I have the capacity to do that on my own. So God is my center, and having that mindset changes everything, because you know that it could easily not be you tomorrow if you decide to be disaligned.
Yeah.
So you want always be aligned with God. So yeah, God is everything.
Been great having you on the podcast. And I've learned a couple of things from you. There's one thing he kept saying, if Mark can do it, I can do it. If he built his product, I can build my product. You talked about your boss in Fiber One that he builds his product, then you can also build that. That actually stirs something up in me like, okay, this is something we should hold on to as a mantra. It's not just Alvena's mantra. I think you're going to hold on to it now. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you sharing your experience. Is there any last word? Anything at all?
Oh, well, I just want to say go to www.blastily.com
Yeah.
and create an account.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give Michelle some sort of welcome coupon so that
Okay.
if her viewers come, they say, "Oh, we are from Sheol," they get something. But yes, create an account, and I want to know what you're building. If you're watching this video and you're a founder, I'm also like an open book. I take meetings. When people do cold DM me, I actually tell them to book a meeting with me on my Calendly because I understand that everybody has their story and I don't mind being a part of it. So if you have something you're building, I have a free consultation link. You can chat for 30 minutes just to understand what you want to build, where your store, if you're not working on distribution, how to make that happen. You can just email me at alvena@blastily.com and I will definitely give you my Calendly link to book a time with me and sit down and chat. And of course, thank you, Sheung. Sheung is also going to list a podcast with Blastily.
Yeah.
So if you guys enjoyed watching this, help her get revenue from this. It takes a lot to put a podcast together. So come on board. When she comes on board, I expect that you guys share her listings and get her advertising deals. So yes,
Yeah.
it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Right. Thank you so much, Alvena. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you enjoyed the words we just discussed, be free to share, subscribe to our channel, and turn up your notification for upcoming episodes. And do not forget to use our coupon from Blastily. That will be on the screen. So I'll see you again on the next episode. Bye. Bye, Alvena.
Bye. The grind is real. You could literally have momentum. You're excited about something, and something else will knock off that entire excitement out of you. Business is not run on document. It's not run on your beautiful Excel sheet. Run your business in the grind. Run your business in the doing, in the getting your